understanding piano major scales for beginners. That's what we're covering today. If you're not a beginner, I still suggest you listen to this because I'm gonna break down scales a way no one has before on the internet. That is by far the easiest way to learn and to understand. And when we talk about scales, I'd like you to think of your family. Maybe you have a dad, an uncle, a grandma, a sister, a cousin. Every family has 7 members, right? Let's flip it up to the camera above and get started on the piano so I can show you what I mean. Before we jump into families, there are 12 important notes you will see on the piano. Each of them has a distinct name. Let me walk you through all 12 before we jump into this so you have all the information to understand what is going on. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and then C again. These are 12 notes. I'm gonna have them highlighted on the keyboard above. Whoop. There you go. Each of those notes has a family, and sometimes the family is super happy, they're excited about life, good things are going on. Those are major families, right? So C has a major family. It's a happy family, it's a proud family, it's a strong family, right? So that is basically a scale. So the scale is every note you're playing is a different family member. So we're gonna play a C scale for you. So when a song is written in the key of C, all that means is that about 95% of the notes in that song, the chord progressions, the melodies, are based on the notes that are highlighted in the keyboard above. So now that you know that, if you find out a song is written in the key of C, you can say, oh, okay, the melody has to be most likely one of the notes that's highlighted here, right? So the reason why there's a happy family here is I'm gonna walk you through what a major scale looks like. Now again, there's also a minor scale to a family as well, which I'm gonna cover in another video. But think of it this way, we're gonna be covering happy scales today, major family, your family's doing great. Now that that's ingrained in your brain, let's walk through how a scale is comprised. So there's something called a whole step and a half step. And all a whole step is, again, think of your 12 notes here that I highlighted before. Let's highlight these for you to see. Boom. This right here, one note to the direct next note is known as a half step. And if we skip a note, it's known as a whole step. So I'm gonna skip this one right here and go straight from E to D. So in a major family, you're gonna be taking either half step or whole step jumps, right? So as I go through the C scale, I'm gonna show you how it's comprised. And this scale, this major C scale, if you're playing, let's say you're in the key of F sharp, if you follow these steps, you'll be able to figure out the entire scale and all the notes in the family, which is gonna help you play any song. So let's jump back to C. So we start off with the root. It's in the key of C. The root is C. It's also known as the tonic, but I don't like using music theory jargon on this channel. So C to D is a whole step. D to E is another whole step. And then E to F is a half step. So let's go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one is going to be a G, which is a whole step. A, whole step. B, whole step. And then a half step, right? So if we label these notes, which you'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 and 4 are always a half step, and then 7 and 8 are always a half step. The rest of the steps are whole steps. So now that you know this, let's say someone gives you, hey, play this song in the key of F. All right, my first step is, who's part of the F family? Who are the uncles? Who are the aunts? So let me walk through, and this again is the major family, a F major scale. So I find my F here, that's the root, and then I'm gonna walk through this entire scale now. So I know the first two are whole steps, so F, I skip this note, G, skip this E sharp, A, And then I know from 3 to 4, it's a half step. So I've played the first 3 notes, and then 3 to 4 is a half step. So instead of going to this note right here, we're gonna go up. And then we need another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and then a half step. 7 to 8 is a half step. Now, I'm not using the right fingering. I'm just kind of showing you with my hands here all the notes, but we'll walk through fingering in a second for both your right and your left hand. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's make it a bit even more complicated. Let's do an F sharp, right? So an F sharp major scale. What's the family here? So we start with our tonic, our root note, which is an F sharp, and then it's a whole step. So we skip the next one here, which is a G, and we jump to our G sharp. We skip the A, which I have highlighted, and we're gonna jump to an A sharp. Those are the first 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we know 3 to 4 is a half step. So instead of jumping a note, we go straight here to our B. And then we have to go whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So if you're going to look up chord progressions for a song and you know what key it's in, that's gonna make your life a lot easier when you're trying to figure out, well, what's the melody of this song, right? If you have the scales down pat, and this takes time, guys, as you learn more songs, you'll learn more scales, you will learn more keys. But using this strategy right here that I just gave you, you will be able to break down any key and know all the notes in the family, in the scale, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure you're gonna be practicing this at home and you're gonna get better and better as you continue to push yourself outside your comfort zone. So thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to learn how to play your favorite song on the piano the fastest and easiest way possible, check out my private video description in the link down below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.